We don't talk about all this. ये सब ना हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति के खिलाफ है. आप पागल हो गई हैं मैडम, बच्चों से सेक्स के बारे में बात करेंगे. These are some of the responses I received in my DMs when on Instagram I spoke about how important it is to talk to our children about sex. Namaskar parents, I'm Dr. Meghna, the therapist mommy. I'm a child and adolescent psychologist and a parenting educator. And today I'll discuss why it is important to talk to kids about sex. 1. Because talking about sex isn't only talking about sex. Talking about sex isn't just about talking about the act of sex. It entails talking about your child's body, consent, and reproduction. Talking about sex also involves talking about sexual identities, how, contemporary families look like, the changing world of dating, the accessibility of pornography, sex in the media, the pressures of social media on our kids, and so much more. Talking about sex with your child also means teaching them how to communicate, how to live without shame, and teaching them to love their bodies. And this lays the foundation for healthy self-esteem and healthy relationships later on. 2. Because you want to be your child's primary source of information. Kids learn more from what we do than what we say. If you're telling your 6-year-old that babies come from storks, rather than या भगवान की पूजा करते हैं बच्चे आ जाते हैं, rather than something simple and science-based, you are starting your dialogue about sex dishonestly. Once you've sent your child the message that you're untrustworthy or too uncomfortable to be a source of information about sex, they're less likely to choose you as their primary source of information in the future. 3rd, because your child will be able to make safer decisions about their body. You fear that if you talk to your kids about sex, you might be seen as permissive, or you worry that your teen will be tempted to experiment if they acquire any bit of sexual knowledge. But research shows that when kids are exposed to age-appropriate information about sex, they are less likely to get pregnant. They are more likely to make safer sexual choices and feel more empowered to make informed decisions about their bodies and their relationships. 4th, because talking about sex can actually prevent child sexual abuse. Sex education also entails teaching your children the correct terms for body parts, including their genitals. Children as young as 2 years should be taught the correct terms for body parts. Talk about how they have a penis or a vulva, vagina, breast, nipple, bottom, instead of pee-pee, susu down there and stuff. This is important because if children experience any kind of a sexually inappropriate act, they will have the language, they will have the vocabulary to describe what happened to them. And even with older kids, using proper words for genitals is important because if they have developed shame around their sexuality, which really isn't surprising in a sexually repressed country such as ours, they may decide to keep their victimization secret rather than share details with a trusted adult like you. So talking to our kids about their bodies is super important, whether your child is 2 or 12 or 18. 5th, because it can foster a positive body image. When we talk to our kids about their bodies, when we help them recognize that different people have different bodies, it supports the development of a positive body image and it reduces shame. 6th, because talking about sex with kids can bring you closer to them. Research actually shows us that in families where issues of consent and sexuality are openly discussed, teens feel much more connected to their parents and enjoy better quality relationships with them. Yes, talking about sex with your children isn't easy because no one spoke to us about it when we were growing up, right? In my next video, I'll be giving out tips on how you can have these difficult conversations with your kids right from toddler to teenage years. This is the Therapist Mommy signing off.